So now, the helicopters are flying, the cop cars are following us, and he's speeding, and he's freaking out. He's like, I knew I should have never went out with you. I knew it. Oh my gosh. This is all because of you. And I'm just like, all because of me? How are you blaming me? You the one that did the crime. Oh, so you don't want to do the time. First of all, who know that they're on a run and signs up for a dating app looking for love? You a criminal looking for love? On a run? Make it make sense. But clearly he's only smart enough to rob banks, not smart enough to hide. Anyway, I digress. So the car is speeding, and now he's like, I'm starting to realize like he's outrunning the cop cars. And so he's going miles per hour. I mean, it's like almost he prepared for this day just in case, right? He pulls out his gun and he's like, listen, I'm going to need you to calm down. Whole time I was calm. I mean, inside I was like, but I just sucked up my breath and said, girl, we got this. He's the one that's freaking out. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at the gun. I'm like, this man finna shoot me. Listen. Also, I know how to stay calm under pressure, but this is like the first situation I've ever been in that's like crazy like this. So I'm sitting here like, I just want to get out of here in one piece. That's all. So I'm like, I'm calm. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm good. And he's like, okay. He's like, we're going to go somewhere. I'm like, go somewhere? So I'm just here trying to figure out, how does this man plan on escaping this entire fiasco, right? And also, if he does, where are we gonna go? Because I am really not prepared to go on a run with this guy, right? And I really hope that these cops know I'm a hostage. I don't believe it or not, we outrun the cops. Like, I mean, we outran the police. I've never seen anything like this before. I wish I was making this stuff up. I've never seen anything like this before. So he's really on the run. At this point, I realized what once was like a date turned a little bit of disaster, and me just getting away scotch clean turned into a whole entire hostage situation, right? And this whole time, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, how do I keep this man calm? How do I keep him calm? How do I let him know that I'm not like, I didn't make that phone call? And remember the phone call, right? To the cops. Remember this part. So anyway, we end up driving. He's looking around. And I also had to say, what's the point of police helicopters? Because aren't y'all supposed to identify where we're at? You're up in the sky. You can see us. You're shining the light and then we disappear. How? How does that even happen? I promise y'all, I was scared when I heard the chopper, because I was like, oh my God, what if they start shooting at the car? But I also was thinking, wait, but they're going to be able to find us and stop this madness, right? No, they lost us. So we're driving, right? And he's still speeding until he realizes that we don't have to anymore, right? So I noticed that the car is running out of gas, and I'm like, oh, thank goodness, right? Just my luck. He goes and says, the car is running out of gas. I'm going to go pop the trunk, get more gas, and fill up my car. I'm like, he came prepared. I mean, the guy really came prepared, had a stash and everything. Like, this was his getaway car. And he goes and says to me, he looks at me, he's like, I'm trusting you're not going to do nothing stupid, because I don't want to have to do something stupid to you. Say no more. I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I won't do anything stupid. I won't. All I'm going to do is sit here and plan my escape a smart way. So I'm sitting here. I'm just like thinking about my friend, like, why would she do that? So I can't make any phone calls because the guy had my phone and he threw it out the window, especially when he heard the cop cars. And at this point, I'm just like, great. My friend had to go and call the cops. So I'm sitting there and I'm quiet and I'm thinking, why would she do that though? This is my best friend, by the way. So I'm thinking, why would she do that? Right? And then it occurs to me, there's a reward. So now I'm like, I just know she didn't put my safety at risk for money. Because I wouldn't do that to her. Like, I genuinely wouldn't do that to her. So I'm like, she wouldn't do that. But then I think she called her dad. And her daddy, straight up con. So I'm just like, oh, her dad told her to cash out. Or he was planning on cashing out and just acted like he cared, like he was really concerned for my safety. Let me say, I don't think I understand. I know her, but I know him. And the story she's told me, the way he just be moving is like money first, money first. So I just know that this man was like, yeah, we got to make sure Chelsea's okay. Back in his head, he's like, yo, this reward is about to be crazy. So I'm sitting down and I'm getting really mad. I'm in this car and I'm getting pissed off because I'm just like, yo, how would anyone do that to me? So he gets in the car now and he's looking at me. He's like, why you look mad? I'm like, what you mean why I look mad? I'm on a run and I don't want to be on a run. And he's like, yo, calm down. I'm like, no. I was like, because I just realized, like, I got played. And he's like, you got played? He's like, I'm the one that got played because you told me you wouldn't call the cops. I was like, did I call the cops? And he's like, then he looks at me. He's like, he's like, oh, he was like, it's your friend, isn't it? So now I see a little twinkle in his eye, like an angry twinkle. And it hits me. I'm like, ooh, see, I'm not going to throw my friend under the bus because I need to make sure that she didn't do this, to set me up. But I just felt like she did it. But I see this look in his eye like, I'm going to hurt her. And I'm just like, I look at him, I was like, she wouldn't do for money if that's what you're thinking. She was really just concerned for my safety. Here I am, still being loyal and still being thoughtful because I don't want nothing to happen to my friend, right? But at this point, too, I'm sure he ain't finna risk going back to go find her, to hurt her, because he's really trying to go on the run. So, he starts like, bucking himself up and he's like, all right, we got to go. And I'm just like, so where we going? And he's like, you ask a lot of questions. I'm like, my life here is at stake, so I think I should ask you questions. And he looks at me, he's like, and he turns his head back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yo, he about to get rid of me. So we driving, and at this point, it's really quiet in the car. I'm just keeping myself calm because I'm just like, this cannot be happening to me right now. Wow, I was just having Italian pasta, and now I'm on the run. So it's late, super late. He looks wired and he goes and says, new plan. And I'm like, what's the new plan? He's like, I got a homie. We're going to stop by his crib and I'm going to think about where we're going to go after. I'm like, I don't know his homie. And you cannot start adding other people into the equation because at this point, his friend could be crazy. And if his friend knows what he does and he trusts this person, his friend could just be like, you got to get rid of her. And I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, I've seen enough movies, y'all. So I'm like, you can't just drop me off somewhere. And he's like, he looks at me, he's like, yo, stop.